Good. The first thing you might do for this question, look at the domain of f. What is the domain of, what are the domain number in the domain of f together? 0, 1, 2, 3. That's it. What is the numbers in the range of f?
2, 5, 7, 9.
Good. What about the domain of g?
2, 5, 7, 9.
Okay. Are you saying something?
Yeah.
What about the range of g?
0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
This makes it clearer for you. So now, if you are looking for f composed with g acting on any number, it's going to be f acting on g acting on that number. So for this to be defined, g, domain of g is needed. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the calculation now depends on the domain of g. So basically, you are saying f acting on g of 2, f acting on g of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
F acting on g of 7, f acting on g of 9. Yes?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Because g can only take 2, 3, 2, 5, 7, 9. And f is going to depend on whatever that result leads to. Am I making sense? That was why when I did yesterday, I drew a mapping diagram. I said, if this is g, do you notice I wrote g first?
Yeah.
Then I wrote f. And I said the composition is what? F composed with G. This was why I referred you back to the mapping diagram, because the clue was there. For you to get composition F to G, you're going to start with G. So when G maps from X1 to Y1, it is that Y1 that X takes, the F takes, and map it to maybe some Z1. Understand? Okay, so back to this quickly, because we have to go in like 2-3 minutes. Now, here now, it means this is F acting on, what is G of 2? G of 2 is what? 2. How do we know that? Here. So this is G of 2 is 2, G of 5 is 0, G of 7 is 1, G of 9 is 3.
Yep.
We have talked about function as relation, as an ordered pair. Do you remember that? At the beginning of the class, of this topic, we talked about this, our relation as this ordered pair. So it can be seen as the coordinate on the graph. What does this mean? It means f of A is equal to B, isn't it? Is that not?
Yes.
Which means A is the x coordinate and B is the y coordinate on that curve. So this is your input, this is the output. Understand? So this is your domain, the x-axis, your range is on the y-axis. That's exactly what you're looking at. Okay? So when they say f composed with g, the first is the domain of g. The domain of g, 2. Leave the rest blank. Okay? 5, 7, and what? 9. Okay? So, G is going to act on 2 and give you 2. Then F is going to act on 2. When F acts on 2, what do you get?
7.
The calculation is here. You are welcome to do this in a rough paper or show it in your book. So that's what we have just done. 7. Okay? Again, G acts on 5. What do we get?
0.
Because remember, G is going to act on it first before F acts on the result. F acts on the result. So G acts on 5. You get what? 0. Then F is going to act on the 0 to give what?
2.
Can you see that? Similarly, G is going to act on 7 to give what?
1.
Then F is going to act on 1 to give what?
5.
That's it. And finally, what is this one?
9.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes. 9, 3, then 3. So can you similarly do G compose with F before you leave? 1 minute. Write it somewhere. You can leave space to write this later. Just quickly do your G compose with F. That's why I said this is the easiest of the question. We only lack the fundamentals. What does it really mean? You don't know what it means, it's going to be difficult for you to interpret. So please go for meaning, not formula. We don't cram in math. You need to understand the meaning. So with this, we are done with composition. There's a word problem that I put in your book. I'm going to ask you to do that also ahead of next week, because we're not going to look at that, but you should do that on your own. Next time we'll look at inverse. Do that on Tuesday. Oh, which is the last day, by the way. Hopefully we can solve that. Are you done, miss? Or is it? Just show me G compose. That looks like G. Yes. No, hold on, so that we can do the last explanation. Are we done? Quickly. Everybody finished?
Yes.
Yes, raise your hand if you've done that. Good. So, this will be, what is the first thing you have? 0. Then, the next one? 1. Yes. 2. Then 3. So you first, where do you get this from?
From F.
The domain of F. Because for G compose with F, you need the domain of F. This composition rely on the domain of F, because F is going to pick first. Alright? Now, when you have 0, it means F act on 0, what do you get? 2. Then G act on 2 to get 2. Who got that? Nice. Now, F act on 1 to produce 5. G act on 5 to produce?
0.
Who got that? Beautiful. Now, F act on 2 to produce? 7. G act on 7 to produce? Raise your hand if you get that. Wonderful. Then finally, F act on 3 to produce?
9.
And G act on 9 to produce?
3.
Who got that? So this is easy, isn't it? Just understand what is happening behind the scene. Okay? Alright, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Joey, you can turn it off. Please, can you make sure, everybody please wait. Make sure you can watch the video later.